Hello, everyone. I'm Jean-Claude BeyondMystic, and welcome to tonight's edition of the Divine Feminine Oracle Show. Topics tonight, of course, Scorpio season and the eclipse. Happy eclipse, everyone. I hope it's a good eclipse for you. Please join me in welcoming the wonderful Sophie and Julie. You can find their work on YouTube here at Maison Jupiter and also on the web at maisonjupiter.com. Julie, Sophie, welcome back to the show. How are you guys?
Hello. Hi, JC. Hey, Sophie, everybody.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us here tonight on this live interactive show. Thank you again to Julie and Sophie for bringing all of their amazing knowledge and talent and love to you guys here on the live chat. So thank you guys. We are, of course, on Eclipse Day. It's been a weird, energetic day. I have to admit, I didn't sleep well last night. It felt like I was on a live wire pretty much all night. You guys want to start there? Sophie, Julie, and you guys in the chat, let us know how you're dealing with some of these energies that are running through the air right now. I'll start with you, Julie. How's your day going?
Oh, it's an intense one, I have to admit. The energy is very, very intense. So it's an eclipse, and Scorpio tends to be very, very intense emotionally. So yeah, I had my fair share of eclipse situations today that I had to deal with.
Would you like to share?
I don't know if I can, but I will one day when it's all over.
Okay, that's interesting enough. Cryptic at best. Sophie, how about you? Did you sleep well last night? Weird energies for me, anyways. But what was your night like last night?
It's funny that you say that. I didn't sleep. I think I slept like 3-4 hours tops. For me, when it's a strong new moon, I know I'm not alone in that, but when it's a strong new moon, I get really tense jaw, migraines. I don't sleep well, and sometimes I have vertigo too. New moons, I hear that it's really a lot of energy when you have your crown chakra very activated. So there's tons of people, I'm sure, that shares those symptoms with me, but not sleeping for me, it's really normal on new moons. Yeah.
So the vertigo thing, did you get that during your sleep or now in the waking hours? What do you mean?
Both. So usually I wake up 2-3 times during the night for different reasons, because of stress, because I have very light sleep, things like that. But when it's new moons, I have a lot of vertigo. Sorry, Virgo too, but I have a lot of vertigo when I try to walk. So this is during the night and during the day too. Do you have the same?
Vertigo, no, I was just curious because one of my daughters had mentioned that too, like that feeling. So I was wondering if it was more for the night or for the daytime. I was curious about the sleep time because a lot of people have these dreams where they're falling, and there's kind of an associated feeling to that. Do you have that as well? Like that
I
falling
don't,
feeling?
but
No,
for
okay.
me, it feels the same too. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we were
Stella
kind
says,
of
"Yeah, I couldn't sleep either." JC, Stella, my mom's name is Stella. Is that my mom? I don't know who that
beautiful.
Stella is. I don't recognize the logo. It could be my mom. I'm not sure. Julie, anything else from you?
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier with Sophie, like the correlation between feeling, let's say, a little bit sick, feeling out of balance during new moons. And I was like, oh, it's funny because new moons mean the sun is behind the moon. So sun in astrology represents our vitality, our health. So it's almost being like eclipse behind the moon. So the moon is more your psychic self, your intuition, your connection with your crown chakra, your third eye. So it's like the moon takes over, well, from a earth standpoint. So the sun might be more difficult to get to. So it's like it's a possibility.
Right. Interesting. Jim Montgomery says, much love to the Beyond Mystic Tribe. Thank you so much. Right back at you. Lisa says, will Janine make it back to Canada before the shit hits the fan? I hope so. And I've been thinking about that. And we were chatting late last night about the schedule because she's extended yet again this truth tour. And I believe, is she back tomorrow? Is that what she said, Julie? I think she's back tomorrow night in Canada, right? So far that's the plan. We keep moving the dates, of course. Julie, Janine, and I were supposed to record the Astro Woo, I think today or yesterday, so we missed that here because of the travel schedule. So we are going to be rescheduling that a few days later here this week. So stay tuned, guys. And yes, pray with us. Pray that Janine makes it back before, as Bill Holter says, the shit hits the fan. Or no, he actually said before the whole shit house comes down. That's actually what he said on that interview with Grant Hunter, and he did explain that on our show with Andy Sheckman just the other day. So, guys, if you haven't seen this show, and also the Penny Kelly show here, a lot of cool stuff with respect to what we're about to be facing here as a collective. We are very much in uncharted territories. And of course, it makes sense that the eclipses are here now as well with all of that. On the screen now, to the right there, you guys are going to see this amazing sculpture created by Philip Meyer. A big thank you to Philip Meyer from New Zealand, I believe it was, who created this. Absolutely amazing piece. I was just like blown away. I'm so happy with this thing. Julie, what did you make when you saw this video I sent out?
Oh wow, like it's amazing. The quality, the details, like wow, I was mind blown. Great work.
And how about you, Sophie? What do you think?
That's tons of love. I can see the time, the thinking about creating that for you, and this is just straight out love for me. Yeah.
And I have to respond to you, Philip, so I did not forget about your email. Sorry.
Well, I think what happened too, and man, this guy, all the energy he put into this also, and there was a huge problem with the shipping. For some reason, the company they had used wasn't approving my address, and he was trying to get to me. And of course, I have such a huge backlog of emails because of this whole PayPal thing that it was really buried behind there. But anyways, we finally connected and made it happen, and I'm so happy with this piece. It's absolutely amazing. And while we're here, let me just take a link down and show you also his Instagram art page. Let me bring you to that page now and bring that link down in the chat for you guys to go check out his amazing artwork as well. So a big thank you there to Philip, and the link is in the live chat now. And actually, Philip, you'll be happy to know that we're doing a 3D, like, you know, the moon above us there that's spinning. We're going to do a 3D rendering of this artwork that you've produced for us too. So it will be an animated logo here on our screen.
You inspired us, Philip.
Yes, you inspired us big time. Big thank you to you, man. Really appreciate that. Let's get into the topics for the show tonight. As always, Sophie, why don't we start with the card pull? There's a lot of people here very anxious still, weird energies. We're not sure where the dread begins for the bad guys, where it ends with us. We're trying to maybe decipher that a little bit better so that we can hold our own center here. Let's take a general read for the audience and see what's in store for us here and how we can navigate all this. Let's start there, and then I'll ask you after that to see what the themes are also coming up from your personal readings here with your clients.
Absolutely.
All right. Miss Kimberly B, what is it made of, JC? It's pure silver. No,
wow.
I was thinking of sending Philip a brick of silver so he could make me one out of silver, of course. But that would be very expensive indeed. It's a pretty heavy piece. So I think it's stainless
steel. It's stainless steel.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for all the great comments here, and go check out Philip's Instagram page and give him some love there as well. Okay, Sophie, energies for tonight's show. What are we dealing with?
I have tons of cards indicating that independence is the main theme. I have 3 of each, so 3 oracle cards and 3 tarot cards, and every card just indicates for me transformation towards more independence in your life, moving forwards on certain things that maybe have been on the back of your mind for a long time, but now is the time to go ahead with that and to bring a lot of, like I said, independence, movement in your life, but in a way that you're not stuck in something that is not meant for you anymore. So we had tons of energy that was stuck. I think it was last week or the week before. Now it's a time to move forward and to be unstuck.
Wow. Okay. Very good. Laura, love you all, sisters. Beautiful. If you've helped me out a lot, thank you. And JC, wow, thank you. I really appreciate that. Sculpture is fantastic. Yes, thank you so much. There's a question here on the chat. Let me address that very quickly. JC, are you and Janine going to use other forms of payment other than PayPal? Okay. Yes. So on the Tarot by Janine, since the offset, we had introduced also straight credit card payment methods, including PayPal, because people were still using that at the time. Same thing with the BeyondMystic .academy. Now, the BeyondMystic.net, where the pay-per-view is, that's an older legacy system, and changing everything over is going to take time here. So we are working on alternatives and perhaps also crypto payments. So all of this is coming in the air. As you know, MasterCard just introduced their in the crypto market here very soon with their new exchange and making it easy for everybody to buy cryptos. So this is going to be becoming part of our world here very soon. So we're going to have to find better ways at transactioning between each other here. So bear with me on the beyondmystic.net. I have to figure it out. It's not as simple as these newer sites. The old one was kind of held together with duct tape and baling wire, if you know what I mean. I had put that up in a rush, and so there's a little bit more planning to do here to change all the integrations on the back end. So yes, I'm working on it, but please do give me some more time. Sophie, so this last week here, since we last spoke, what seems to be the prevalent theme coming from your personal readings here? What are the energies that people are dealing with most right now?
So it started to be less focus in one area. Now it's the big theme is more about big fated changes. So in your life, it could be now, well, in the past I had tons of relationship ending. Now I have a bit of everything. I have people dealing with debts around them, so they have to take the will. They have to deal with the will in general, just a huge process with that. We have change of jobs, asking ourselves what we want to do now, change of location, moving, where do we want to go next, but in a way that is not just changing the city. If you are in states, it's also changing states. We have also ending relationship, but all kinds of relationship. And we have also a lot of exhaustion in the light workers. I'm saying light workers, and especially, I know that there is physical exhaustion for a bit of everyone, but when I talk to people who have jobs in Reiki, reading the cards, helping people, those people are really exhausted right now. Those people are really seeing that they are at the end of their last resources and they need a break. So there is, for me, the logic behind that right now, light workers have been pushing to help people since 3 years now, that we have tons of change and tons of anxiety in the world that we have to deal with it. But also right now, those big energy that everyone is feeling, they feel it in their personal life too, but they have to help other people who are feeling them in their personal life too. So they're taking that charge on their back for themselves and for others too. So it's exhaustion all around.
Exhaustion all around. Yes, I know a lot of people, including myself, we're dealing with a lot at this time of the year. And of course, these energies are not making it any easier, that's for sure. You mentioned basically there's a hodgepodge of things that people are dealing with here. So we have our attention spread out maybe on very different focuses. DOB says, Sophie is really accurate. I have used her several times. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. And somebody was also asking here, JC, is Snippy okay? Yeah. I chat with him every day. He took a couple of weeks off here, of course, in the aftermath of the last hurricane here to set up a few things. So he did a video also on his YouTube channel, letting everybody know, yeah, he's still alive. Just taking a little bit of time. I believe our next Wacky Woo show, I think, is November 3rd or 4th, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, he did text me that yesterday. I haven't put it up on the poster yet, but yes, Diana, Snippy is doing just well. Miss Kimberly B, everything is changing in my world. Yes, that seems to be the theme for everyone. Yeah. Julie, explain why that might be here. There's a lot of astrological alignments and pressures that are hitting us all at the same time. Why is everything changing in the world? Let's start there.
Well, first of all, today is the eclipse, the Scorpio eclipse. And whenever we're in eclipse season, which means that we're in the orb of influence of a pair of eclipse, because they always come in pairs. So every time we're in this, I'm sorry, I'm having some echo. I'm just gonna
let me mute.
Is that my sound? Okay, thank you. So every time we're in eclipse season, it's big fated changes because it's full moon and new moons, but happening very close to the lunar nodes. And the lunar nodes represent fate, karma, what we're striving to move towards to, as opposed to south node, what we have to let go in order to move on, and for the benefits of our soul growth. So these are very uncomfortable times. Usually we're not very comfortable with change, but our soul is pushing us in order to have new experiences, to let go of the past, to make room for what's to come. So, well, my first answer would be it's because it's eclipse season. And also whenever we have a lot of energy in the sign of Scorpio, it's the most intense sign of all the zodiac signs. So Scorpio season is always like a heavy hitter, especially when it's when there's an eclipse in Scorpio.
So
And
today, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and also we have, of course, the Saturn-Uranus square also
Still.
activated. So this is that would deal more, I would say, with the financial transition that we're into. But the eclipses affect the collective, but also us in our personal lives, wherever it falls in your birth chart. So
tonight for the Scorpio season, we're going to look at this from two angles. One, how it's going to affect you, I guess, more personally. And then we're going to talk about what practical tools, tips on how to deal with that and how to maybe grow from these energies and what's being presented to you. So stay tuned. There's a lot of material to go through here in the show. And we'll try to take some questions also as we go along. Miss Sovereignty, wacky dreams lately, Hunger Games type of stuff. Dude. Me too. Just last night, or actually last night was not the Hunger Games. Hunger Games was a couple of days ago. Last night I was killing vampires, and it was like I woke up with my heartbeat was like racing, and it felt really, really real. Okay, Sophie, you're nodding your head.
Yeah,
What's going on with Dreamscape as of late, as Miss Sorrenti is saying here?
I heard it all in consultation this week about dreams too. So I forgot to say it. Yes, dreams is really wild right now. So we seem to have some kind of, it's still in symbols, so we cannot be totally accurate as is, but it's still strong metaphors. Mostly we have to see what our dreams are as mostly warnings and preparation, mental preparation, energetically preparation, what is to come.
Whoops. Sorry.
I was unmuting myself while you were muting me. There's this new series out. It's called Peripheral or the Peripheral. And in here, they're not dreaming. They're going into this virtual reality only to find out, and spoiler alert here, that their virtual reality is not actual virtual reality. It's actually reality, but sometime in the future. And that brings me back to some of the dreams that I was having a couple of years ago, when I felt also that I was kind of like virtually seeing through somebody else's eyes, whether those were an actual human avatar of sorts. Maybe I was overlaying some of those visions, or maybe I was controlling another device, as in the movie Peripheral. What do you think is happening there, Sophie? And maybe we could pull some cards on that too. We're all soldiers in this spiritual war. And right now, given the dynamics of this Saturn-Uranus square, we're in this last fight now. Are we maybe being called to the front line? Not necessarily with guns and bullets in this particular dimension, but are we fighting on multiple dimensions here when we go to sleep? Let's pull some cards and see what comes up from that.
But just on your dream, JC, this is very clear to me that this was really real fighting. People who were trying to get your energy, because I have my card about Dracula, which is a vampire, and it is feeling drain of energy.
Mm-hmm.
So you are fighting too. Let's check.
Okay.
I have mute and shadow work so far. Let me just grab 2 cards of tarot to go with it. Yeah. Fighting. We are fighting in our sleep. So this is the world. We are trying to help to have a better world. So I think you're preparing for what is to come, trying to prevent as much as possible and trying to protect as much as possible. For me, mute is really normal to have these cards, because at this point, we're not clear on what is to come exactly. It can still change a bit because of free will and maybe other aspect too. There will be reveal. There will be surprise about what is to come for sure. But you're already preparing for what is to come and helping the world. And the next card, of course, I have shadow work. And we have the High Priestess in reverse, so we're not clear on what it is yet. But for me, High Priestess represent also the subconscious, so dreams.
Wow. Okay, guys, this is the movie poster for Peripheral. Maybe that triggered me in many ways. If you haven't seen the series, Beth is saying, yeah, it's a really great series here. There's a lot to be said there. Now, Julie, what do you make of this idea that perhaps while we're dreaming and we're fighting in this other dimension, how do we regulate our bodies back here? Like, is there a danger for any of that frequency in that other dimension to come and grab us in this dimension? Is that even possible? And if so, we could pull some cards on that too, Sophie, if you like, or if you can take some oracle cards. What's your gut feeling on all of this, Julie? Again, our realm is much more complicated than we actually know, right? And so we have dimensional facets to our existence, and we're just now starting to glean that this right here is not the bulk of our experience. It's actually much bigger than that. What would you say to the audience members who are trying to tackle with this, who are now seeing, of course, these dreams and wondering if maybe those dreams are actually more real than this particular reality we're been led to believe?
Wow, that's such a great question, because I know I do a lot of astral travel while I sleep. And well, I think everybody does, but I think part of my mission is up there when I sleep. So that's the reason why I think I sleep a lot, and that's also what Janine picked up when she pulled cards on me. So I think it might be as important than what we're doing here in this reality, but we're not as aware about it as we are in the 3D. But I think the danger is more like, what do you bring back as of let's say entities attached to your energetic field. So what I do personally, I keep a piece of silver under my pillow, because it's very much protective for astral travel, astral protection. So that's personally what I do. I have also 2 pyramids from Carla next to my bed to protect my energy, because apparently that's when I'm the most, let's say, what's the word, parasité?
Vulnerable to
Yeah.
external forces. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Wow. Fascinating. Sophie, you were pulling some cards on that too. You want to
Yes.
add to that? Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everyone in the chat here, for chiming in, because we're all, like it appears, like reading from the chat, we're all suffering from this recently, really weird dreams, and we're all trying to figure out. Again, in this movie, what was interesting, at one point, the character gets caught, and the person at the other end says, "You may be running an avatar, but once I won't say what they say, but we can track you back to where you are," and they track this person back in time, and they send, like, I guess, temporal soldiers back in time to address the situation. Anyway, fascinating show, but it got me thinking how much disclosure is in all of that. Sophie, what's in the cards?
So first, before the cards, I just want to add to it, because not every dream will be accurate. We have 2 kinds of dreams. We have the one that is created because of our stomach. Sometimes we digest and it goes crazy. It's from other places and just our mind creating something. Sometimes it's really body. Sometimes it's really right now, like the energy is pushing us to have more dreams that will be meaningful. But we have to be conscious of the symbols. The symbols we have. I'm not sure I'm going to have the right words in English, so Julie, you can help me with that. But Edgar Cayce had this vision of symbols that you have personally for you, symbols that you have for the society, the culture that you grew up in, and universal symbols also. So it's not the same thing for everybody. So if you watch your movie, like you said, maybe those symbols are the way they are in your dreams because of that personal symbol that you just added to your own lexic of symbols, but it's not going to be the same thing. So just watch out, because it's metaphors, but we can understand what is the main message in there also.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. And what was interesting too, I was just thinking about this. There's this other season now. I think they're on season 3, but this show called Falling Water. These are people who are actively engaging in this dimension through other people's dreams, and they actually get together to dream together to affect an actual outcome here in 3D. So this is very much coming through the field again, whether that's predictive programming or maybe they're trying to suss out the people who can actually do this by having these conversations, showing these movies, and this could be a recruitment poster of sorts. We don't know. Let's talk about that, Sophie. Let's pull some cards and see if some of these movies or these video games are actually recruiting people who have specific talents that might be permissive or adaptable to these types of out-of-body activities.
Yeah, let me just show you the cards before on the last question.
Okay. Oh, yes. Sorry. Go ahead.
I talk too much, that's why. Okay. Your body is fine. So this is illusion. This would be dreams for me. Your body is completely fine because we're sleeping. Okay. There is no feeling here on the body side. So we do have flying. So you get out of your body and you're safe. This is safety. Okay. I have a ladybug just flying around like crazy. So again, if you see something fly or if you hear me scream, it's normal. I have here feeling good, healthy, confident, and we have this card of the Hermit. So for me, it's your soul that is simply going on adventure, doing is natural thing that it does at night. So fighting if you are a protector, creating new reality if you are a manifestor or a creator, things like that.
Okay, and let's pull again here. Let's shuffle the deck and pull on whether or not some of these movies or perhaps some of these video games are actually recruitment mechanisms for people who are either predisposed or talented in actually affecting outcomes in different dimensions.
Absolutely. But what is really crazy in there, and what is really crazy is that it looks like you don't need much. If you are someone that aligns with those movies it's just getting through you. It's just something that it's automatic. It's just activation. So yes, it would be a yes for me.
Okay, very good. And Jim says, ladybugs, that's an awesome sign from universe.
Wow. And being attacked by ladybugs, about 25 of them today. So I guess I'm very lucky.
I just rewatched Jupiter Ascending the other day. And of course, when that scene where she gets out of the house and all the bees kind of congregate around her, signaling that she's royalty, I thought that was absolutely fascinating. Here in the backyard, Sarah and I have been greeted by those really big, c'est quoi libelle en anglais?
Firefly?
Dragonfly, right? Dragonflies.
Dragonfly, you're right.
Really cool dragonflies. I'd have to look that up and see what those mean, but really fascinating also. Okay. What is this? Lori and GC, man, you really know how to scope out extremely intelligent and higher than average esoteric knowledge and there's perspective. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I've been doing this for a while. I've been studying this stuff for a while. So thank you. I appreciate that. And yes, we do have amazing guests on the show, including the two here with me tonight. So thank you for all the love in the chat. I really appreciate it. Julie, man, we're already 28 minutes in. That dream thing was important because a lot of people are struggling with this and trying to realize what's really going on. And it's funny, just reading the chat, there's a lot in there. But Julie, let's get into the theme for tonight. Of course, on our poster, we were talking about Scorpio season, and we decided before the show here, we're going to break that in two segments. So let's start delving into how this particular energy is going to affect us on a personal level, whether we have that Scorpio moon, is it, in our chart, or whether it's just part of our makeup, generally speaking. These energies are going to affect us nonetheless. So explain that to the audience members.
Yeah, but just before I dive into that, I just want to say again that we all have Scorpio somewhere in our chart. So we all have that piece of all the 12 zodiac signs. We're all part of the whole, if you want to put it like that. So I personally have my Pluto in Scorpio, and I have a Saturn in Scorpio. But everybody, let's say not everybody has planets in the sign of Scorpio, but it's ruling one of your houses in your birth chart. So it means one area of your birth chart is ruled by Scorpio. And that's where it's going to be activated for you during this eclipse today. And also, well, we're going to have eclipses in Scorpio and Taurus for 1.5 years. The nodes moved at the beginning of this year, 2022, and it's going to be until mid 2023 that we're going to have eclipses in Scorpio. So it's about 1.5 years. So last time we had eclipses in that axis, I'm going to tell you the dates, so you guys try to figure out what was going on in your personal life around those dates, and you'll have some clues around what's going to be activated again in your life with the eclipses that we're having now. So last time it was around 2013, 2014 that we had eclipses in Scorpio and Taurus. The first one in Scorpio was November 13, 2012. And the last one, which was the most exact regarding of the degrees, that match almost exactly the one today, was October 23rd of 2014. We had an eclipse in Scorpio at 0 degrees, and today it's at 2 degrees, so very close. So
okay, so hold on just a second here. Beth was asking, yes, if there is an eclipse today. Yes, it is the one we've been talking about here for the last number of weeks. And so what you're suggesting here for the experiment is to figure out what was happening to you in this particular last alignment. And you're say that date again, Julie, so people can focus and try to remember where they were.
It's a period of almost 1.5 years because we're having eclipses around this axis of Taurus and Scorpio for 1.5 years. So it's like one eclipse, you know. So it was 2013, 2014 with more emphasis on let's say end of 2014, October 2014, because it was almost at the same degree as we're having today. So try to figure out what was happening in your life. So I have my personal planet, well, not personal planet, but I have a planet in Scorpio at 0 degrees. It's my Pluto, my natal Pluto. So this eclipse that we're having today falls almost exactly on my natal Pluto. So it means I'm in the midst of transformation, very much on the spotlight myself. So if you have a planet in the sign of Scorpio, if you have your sun in Scorpio, your moon in Scorpio, rising Scorpio, you're going to feel this eclipse more. And I looked up in my personal life what was happening in 2013, 2014. And I have it in my 3rd house, which is communications, marketing, and I used to work in marketing, design, graphic design. So it was like a real highlight for me, professionally speaking, when I had those eclipses back in 2014, 2013. Professionally, it was really, really good. I was designing billboards on the highway in Montreal. I was like at the peak of my professional career, I would say. I have a lot of projects. I was moving. So lots of things happens for me. And so it's really talking about the 3rd house for me because it's in my 3rd house. So look up where Scorpio falls in your birth chart, in what house, and you're going to have additional clues. Also, I think that's where Sophie and I started talking again. So 3rd house is also the house of siblings, and Pluto is deep transformation. So that's really positive. So I just wanted to say, maybe give you some extra clues. And also if you have personal planets around 0 to 5 degrees of Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo, you're going to feel this eclipse a lot more.
So for the people who are watching along now and they've pinpointed the general mood, atmosphere, what was happening in their life in October 2014, how do they apply that or the knowledge of that to where we are today to make it personal to them so that they can continue to grow from these energies? How do you make that leap from knowing what was happening in 2014?
That's a good question, JC. So, well, first of all, I'm going to go over the themes in just a second, but a main theme of Scorpio is getting back your personal power. Scorpio has to do with power, almost always. So, and in modern society, how do we use that power is mostly with money, with political power, and sexuality. So these are the themes that are ruled by Scorpio. So wherever it falls in your birth chart, it's basically asking you to gain your personal power, regain your personal power back into a situation. So it's almost like you're trying to channel the energy of the house that falls in your birth chart, with, let's say, really channeling your personal energy and really regaining your personal power. So for example, for me, third house has to do a lot with professional projects because I worked in communication and marketing. So for me, it was all asking me to use this scorpionic energy to really focus it into creative energy. But for other people, it could also be healing themselves. So we're going to go over the themes. If you can,
let me bring that up.
yeah.
And Carol says, "Oh yeah, in 2014, I got divorced." I'm sure for a lot
That's
of people,
a very Platonic theme.
right, exactly. Okay, let's see how that ties in here to some of these themes. Am I on the right? No, that's the. Hold on, this is the one I'm looking for. Right? Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to go over the themes you might be experiencing in your life. I'm sure one of them is going to be like, that's what's happening for me. So, and it could be more than one, of course. So you're going to see a lot of purging and healing past wounds during, and I'm not just talking about here the eclipse, which is probably the peak of energy of Scorpio season, but the whole Scorpio season, the themes that are going to come up. Okay, so it's from October 23rd to November 22nd. So purging and healing past wounds. Scorpio deals with a lot of stuff that we internalized, trauma that we internalized, emotional baggage, shadow work. It all rules Scorpio. So and we bury sometimes our all of the time traumas in our body when we when we have traumas happening to us. So buried traumas in the body is ruled by Scorpio season. And also toxins is a Scorpio rule theme. So releasing toxins, detoxing would be a very accurate Scorpio season theme. Also, Scorpio rules Kundalini, sexuality. So there could be some secret affairs, a lot of attraction and magnetism between people. Also, it rules the dark side of sexuality. So we could see more empowering type of sexuality themes coming up, but also more abuse type of dark side of sexuality coming up. So as I said, Scorpio is always about power. So we could see a lot of power struggles between people, and also wrongful usage of power and abuse are coming to light usually during Scorpio season, and especially during eclipses like the one we're having. So it's not a coincidence that all what happened to the little ones in the underground are coming up these days, these past days. I know Janine spoke about it during the Rumble Live. So it's because also all these scorpionic themes are coming up during eclipses, but also during the Scorpio season. Regarding more the financial side, so Scorpio rules mutual finances, so shared resources with a partner. So if you have money that you pull together with your partner, with a business partner, that's Scorpio ruled. So there could be themes coming up about that. It could also be pensions, it could be your taxes, it could be just generally speaking money you owe to the government or to other people. It could talk about inheritance, receiving money. So these are all Scorpio season themes. Also, Scorpio rules secrets. So it could be secrets, scheming, secrets coming out, especially during full moons and eclipses. So we could see a lot of those. Scorpio rules death and rebirth. So it could be deaths, it could be births, it could be pregnancies happening during Scorpio season. Personally, I think all the kids around me are Scorpios. So there's a lot of births during Scorpio season around me. Also, it rules karmic relationships, so people you met from past lives. So it's very karmic when we enter Scorpio season. So and not only romantic relationships, all types of relationships. So sometimes you have to heal some specific stuff about someone that you had a lot of past lives with. So it can come up during Scorpio season. And one other word that is very important whenever we talk about Scorpio, it's the season of transformation. Because if we look at the earth, we're transitioning into winter. So everything is dying to let go and welcome the new energies coming. Well, not yet, because we're going to go through winter first, but after that, we're going to welcome new energy at spring. So Scorpio season is the season of transformation. And two of the animals that rule Scorpio are the snake, which also deals with Kundalini, and the snake is known to shed its skin at that time of the year. And also the phoenix is Scorpio ruled, so rising up from your ashes. So you're probably experiences sometimes some crisis, sometimes a very difficult situation, but Scorpio is truly the phoenix rising up above everything else and transforming this difficult situation into strength, into power, into regaining your personal power. Also challenging emotions, triggers, emotional triggers. So I welcome you to really look at what's triggering you right now, because Scorpio season is a highly charged emotional season. And also it rules the occult, generally speaking. So this show is very scorpionic in itself, and it rules also astrology, but the more intuitive side of astrology.
Really good. Okay, let me get Sophie to chime in here. Just reading these themes here, what else do you want to add to that? Do you want to do a specific poll? And if so, how do you want to ask the question to universe here? What do you think?
Do you want to share with us what you had in your personal life at those times? Do you have something that you remember?
Me personally?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to share.
Okay.
Moving right along. Okay.
I can do it. I can share with you.
Okay.
During those times, I ended a really big relationship for me. And also I had my first burnout. Since I'm a very slow learner, I had more than one before I get out from the 9 to 5. But that time was really trying to, like you said, Julie, just gaining my power and just getting those pieces that I was trying to give to others back and to reach my full potential. I did not see clearly the sign the first time, but now I'm really where I'm supposed to be. And I think that we can really see where the last time it fell in your life, where it hits really those eclipses with that energy, and now how evolved you are. When we see the difference, we can see how we got the lessons right now.
Okay, very good. I'm reading the comments in the chat. People thought that was absolutely funny. And Six Fairy Light says, I'm not mad at you, JC. I don't want to share either. I share a lot with this channel already. And sometimes I feel I share too much. And really, the show was never about me. It was all about bringing all of these amazing people on the show and having these conversations and sharing the content with you guys. Really, that's what it's all about. But yeah, I do share a lot. But sometimes I shy away. I feel guarded. Maybe this is just one of those moments. Julie, okay. Before we get into the, I guess, best practices here on how to regain that power here, I think that's what a lot of people are trying to get at here. They're recognizing here perhaps where they were in 2014, how that relates to today. There might be a resurgent or recurrence of those same energies, and they're all in a different position they are today than they were in 2014 to deal with these energies. So they're probably looking at, okay, what are the best tips, tools, practices on how to maybe apply what I learned in 2014, or maybe not make the same mistake I did in 2014. Do you want to get into those best practices now? Do you want to do? Yeah. Okay. Let me bring that up as well. Hey, before I do that, also, I wanted to bring this up. I got a little karmic relationships, past lives, scorpionic theme. Well, speaking about that, yes, folks, the Remembering Your Past Lives workshop with Sophie is coming very, very soon, perhaps even as early as next week. So stay tuned for that. And that's all I'll say on that one. Okay. I thought I'd poke that out there. Okay. So let's get into the supported actions for this Scorpio season. Julie, you have the mic.
Yeah, personally, last year when Scorpio season started, I had a breakup too, if I can chime in with Sophie. And it was one of those situations where I noticed I was not being very, how can we say that? I gave too much to the other person. I was trying to make too many compromises for the relationship to work. And as soon as Scorpio season started, I was like, nope, I'm over it. I was like, no, realizing that I gave too much and I forgot about myself and what I wanted out of this relationship and out of my life. So that's where I wanted to bridge here for the first point, because I wrote taking back your power and setting boundaries, which I think is a big one. So Scorpio season is all about being like, okay, but where do I want to invest my time, my energy, my the love I have to give? Where is it important for me to invest it? And I feel like the dream with the vampires too, JC, was very interesting regarding that, because it's the vampires try to steal your energy. But when Scorpio season arrives, you're like, nope. You're like, that's not where I want to give my energy. So it's really in that way, that's what I mean when I wrote taking back your power, setting more healthy boundaries. Also, second point, I wrote turning past pain into strength. So that's where I think you can learn from past experiences. So you're like, okay, that's what happened last time we had an eclipse in Scorpio, let's say 2014. But this time around, I see the same themes coming up, let's say, but I'm like, nope, I'm not going to get into that what's the word I'm looking for? That trap. Yeah, trap is the word I'm looking for. So turning past pain into strength, also allowing yourself to let go of certain things, because as nature is dying off, like the leaves are falling and they're about to enrich the ground. So we also have to let go of certain things, whether it be material, whether it be emotional, maybe an emotional baggage, maybe something you have to transform. So also allowing something to end and to transform is very Scorpionic. And it's not necessarily negative, as we would always usually talk about death. We are conditioned to think about death in a very negative way, but it's just a transformation to another state. So we have to allow things to end and to transform during Scorpio season.
Just one thing, the letting go of certain things, for me, it's also control. Letting go of the control. And I don't know if I shared this, because I shared this in my one-on-one session, but I manifest better, and I think everybody manifests better when you let go of the control and you just simply ask on your vision board, sometimes less. So you can ask more less specific. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
You can say, I want security, I want to manifest love, and I want to manifest abundance and to be happy. Yes. The same in love. Trying to visualize sometimes the perfect person. You can just let go in Scorpio season and just ask the universe, if you have the right person for me, I will open my arms to this person. Otherwise, I'm okay alone.
Yep.
Oh, that's interesting. And Lorianne says, yeah, so the season is about realignment. Is that a way of saying it too? What would you say to
I would
that?
say letting go and transforming more than, because you're not necessarily going to have the answers of where to align yourself with. But yes, align it with yourself. I agree totally with that. But it's not going to be necessarily really clear where you're going, but you're going to be shown where you need to let go of stuff, where you need to let things transform and die off in your life.
I like to see it as they're showing you, by day, it's the universe, they're showing you where you have been spending time, resources, and energy that is not going to get a reward for you. It's not going to go back and grow and get you some places. So they're showing you where you can stop investing time and resources.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Well said,
Okay.
Sophie.
Very well. Okay. Let me bring back the chart. Where were we on this one?
Yeah. So I said allowing something to end, transform, allowing deep psychological and emotional transformation to take place and go within, which is very much Scorpionic. Scorpionic is deep, raw emotions that are being stored in the body, usually more around the pelvic area, womb for women. That's very Scorpio. And it's usually where we tend to store traumatic experiences. So just by sitting there, going within, and allowing things to come up, you're doing a great scorpionic work just by doing that. Also, paying attention to our emotional triggers, paying attention to how we share our energy, time, money. So exactly what Sophie was just saying. So the universe might be directing you somewhere else. So you think you're, let's say, investing all your time, your energy into your work, but is it well invested? Do your work value your time and energy? So it's like you're going to get a mirror of is it a good energy, time, money, love investment for you? Also, around an eclipse, I agree with Sophie what you were saying around manifestation. So be careful of how you want to manifest, because if you, let's say, do a manifestation ritual around an eclipse, it could stick around longer. So you really want to be careful with the words that you use, how you think, how you speak. And so I wrote, make sure you are deliberate with your language. So, and I think you gave a really good tip by saying, be less specific, but also more specific on how you want to feel, but less specific with the details of what you want to happen in your life. So you want to give the universe enough space to present you with an opportunity that is aligning with what you want, but not exactly in the way you want. So yeah. And also I wrote, be soft with yourself, be adaptable, be ready to turn around quickly. That's more eclipse season talking here than Scorpio season. And last point, helping the purge with intentions. So being open to letting go with your intentions. And you probably guys have other ways. I thought about salt baths, walking outside, crying, letting go of emotion, sweating also is good if you want to work out, and also food detox to help this purge that is happening, which is emotional, but also you're going to feel it in your physical body.
Well, speaking of that purge, I had a shaman tell me, this was like 10 years ago. You just mentioned the salt baths and removing some bad energies. But you said something about letting or giving universe enough room to present you what you need in your life. And part of that is also, dare I say, cutting cords with people who shouldn't be in your life anymore. And so the shaman was telling me, imagine your life that you have a dinner table full of guests, and at a certain point, there are guests there that perhaps no longer are contributing to that table. And if you don't ask them politely to leave, then universe cannot send the other guests that are supposed to be at your table that are more conducive to the growth or to the challenges that you're facing currently and all that. So maybe that purge is also not looking back and not having any guilt about doing just that, or removing the people from your lives who don't serve you anymore. Sophie, you're nodding your head there. Yeah. Is that also coming up in the themes with your clientele?
Yes, and I was about to say card cutting too. So this is amazing. I had, in fact, one person this week that was doing the 21 days, about card cutting, because it takes 21 days to do it, but in a salt bath every time that she did it. Amazing. This is the way that you want to do it in Scorpio season.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
And I just want to say here that a lot of positive things can happen too during Scorpio season. If you're regaining that power, you're being more conscious where you want to invest your time, energy, money. Elena is a Scorpio sun, and she's having like amazing events happening to her in the past days, weeks. So really good for her professional life, her career. She's making a lot of bold moves. So it could be very positive for you.
Yes,
I can't wait to have Elena back on the show. Of course, she's creating her own workshop here on feng shui. I think I was corrected last week. I didn't say that correctly. So I'm excited to have Elena back, and also to do live meditations and singing bowls with you guys. So that's going to be absolutely cool. All right, guys, we're already at the 53-minute mark. Oh my God, these shows go so fast. Let me bring up the PayPal tip jar again in the live chat for you guys now. If you have any questions for Julie and Sophie, we do appreciate all of your contributions and make it possible for us to do all of these shows. And we also love to give back, of course, to the community. And this is why we have tonight from the wonderful Carla at Ascension Organite. Can I get this one? Is that the right one? Capricorn. Yes. So let me bring up on the screen this beautiful pyramid here that is up for grabs for one of you amazing PayPal tip jar donators this evening. Oh, hold on. Let me restart that. Come on.
Guys, this is
There you
Carla
go.
from Ascension Organites, and today I have another piece of the astrology series to show you. This is Capricorn. So I use colors and crystals that help enhance the properties of Capricorn. I use fluorite, ruby, garnet, aluminum metals, and the seed of life in silver. So Capricorn is very intellectual, very intuitive. That's where fluorite comes in. It's a great stone for decision making, concentration, learning. Ruby is great for passion, love, as well as garnet. It inspires love and devotion, and also it's great for emotional balance and positive thoughts and inspiration. So I'll give it a quick turn around so you can see it. And there's Capricorn. I hope you guys like it, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Carla. Absolutely beautiful pyramid. Of course, guys, if you're looking at getting one of these in your possession, you can do so at ascensionorganites.com, where currently we have this new promo on. Julie, what's this promo all about? Explain this to the audience members. I'm excited.
Okay, so Carla is in the midst of creating this new astrology series, pyramids. They're all really beautiful. Here on the poster is the Aries one. So we decided to team up with Elena to make a special promo right before the holidays so you can stock up on candles and pyramids for your loved ones. So we never had this much of a discount. So this is a really interesting promotion. So this is called the astrology promo. If you buy either one candle, any of the candles of Elena, or any of the pyramids in the astrology series, you get 15% off if you buy one. And if you buy two or more, you get 20% off with astrology 20. So it's valid until 11/11.
Okay, very good. And speaking of candles for tonight, we're also donating a candle from Elena. What's this one all about, Julie?
So this one is romance because this eclipse is conjunct the planet Venus. So I thought we needed more love energy and more Venus energy. So this one is for the sacral chakra to activate even more our fun, our pleasure center, romance, love. And this is infused with carnelian, and the scent is peach and chocolate. And Elena infuses all the crystals during full moons, so she put all the best intentions in them. So this is truly like a ritual candle.
Okay, very good. And I just thought of something very funny here. Earlier tonight, when you guys were asking me to share, Stardust said, "Oh, come on, JC, tell us what's your favorite position." Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. If you guys want to guess what my favorite position is, type that into the live chat, and specifically in the comments after the video. And if any of you actually get it right, I'll send you a pyramid.
Wow.
Well, I want to see all your comments, not just here in the live show, but you have to put them in the comments below the video on replay. And within a couple of days here, I'll scan those answers for you. And I thought, okay, that's my way of sharing and making it fun with you guys. Yes.
Very scorpionic too, so you're right in the themes.
Jeff says, yeah, great show, man. Okay, we'll leave it at that for now. So you guys have to guess what my favorite position is. Okay. Oh my, Gail says. Okay. Yes. Oh my. Okay. Where were we? What am I doing? Do we have to do quick? Okay, so pyramids, yes, guys. Ascensionorganites.com is the link for Carla. Of course, the links are in the description box below. And MaisonJupiter.com for the candles. And Sophie, somebody was asking earlier in the chat also, I don't know if I still have it here, but how long is it? Or do you have any bookings coming up here for people who want to have a booking with you? What does the schedule look like right now for your personal tarot readings?
That's a good question. Julie, do you think we still have space in November, or does it go in December for the full hour?
For the full hour, we're looking at December, I believe. So beginning of December. And for the priority...
I just added some before the show, so you should have some space, I think, next week. So I don't have a ton. I'm trying to finish quickly past life. This is a good way to have the Scorpio energy in a good way. So if you start anything that is intuitive on this new moon with Scorpio, this is going to be very positive.
I'm just reading some of the positions already. And Barb says, "Bold move, JC. Bold move." Yeah, I don't know. I might end up regretting it. Debbie says, "Your face is red, JC." Yes, it could be from the sun. I was outside working on the patio earlier today. But yeah, it could be something.
And
else.
don't forget, JC's card is the Lovers and the Soul Essence. So yeah, good.
Oh, you guys are killing me. Okay, thank you again, everyone. PayPal tip jar. Let me bring up the link again for you guys now. We'll start with the first questions here. So let me just bring that link up on the screen for you guys there. Okay. I guess this one is for Sophie. Yes, Jamie. I won't read the family names. Sometimes maybe this is too personal. So people put their personal names. It's through PayPal. It's their account. So I'll just read the first name, and you guys will know who the questioner is if you're listening. So Jamie says, a question for Sophie: can you see if I should sell my house or stay going through a divorce? Okay, let's take a quick poll on that. And then Julie, the next one is going to be Sagittarius rising and sun. So if you want to line that up, I'll ask you a question here after that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So Sophie, Jamie, going through a divorce. Am I going to sell my house? Should I stay? Should I go? What's going on?
For me, this is a weird question in a sense that I have limitation around you about moving right now. I have the card that says stuck, and I have the card that says stuck. And I have also this card that says stuck in a sense. So I have tons of cards indicating that you have something to clear before you can move. So if you see timeline on the question, it's a multi-layered question. I will try to go fast on this. You do have some stuff to end before you can move, and you should move when it's time to clear those energy. So it's just in a process. There's stuff to do before, but yes, you should move.
Okay, very good. Julie, so Sagittarius rising and also the sun. I have two occasions of waking up in a panic attack in the last 2 weeks. What is happening? Thank you so much. So let's look at it astrologically speaking, and we might ask Sophie also to pull some cards on what's happening to Melissa. This is Melissa asking.
Okay, well, I'm just going to share this. Astrologically speaking, so interesting because if you're a Sagittarius rising and also your sun is here, so that means that the eclipse that we're having today is falling in your 12th house, which is your house of dreams, of mental health, of dreaming, of spirituality. So I feel like you're clearing a lot of past life karma, which is 12th house. So I think that's what is happening to you might not be necessarily what is going on in your present incarnation. I think it has to do with past lives, things from the past or in this incarnation, but when you were, let's say, younger, because 12th house is about the past, but necessarily, well, most times it's about past lives. So you're, and also it could be also your ancestral line, which is the 12th house. So you're purging and you're healing a lot of those things. So I think that, and also when we have the North Node here with Uranus in your 6th house, which talk about your physical vitality, your physical body, but also your day-to-day life, it means there's a lot of changes. And that's also one of the reasons why you could be having those panic attacks, because Uranus is drastic change. It's also very eclectic as an energy dynamic. So it's like you're buzzing with energy because there's all those changes happening in your daily life. And also 6th house is ruled by Virgo usually. So Virgo is very stressed when you change their routine. So I think it's a combination of both. Sophie, do you have something else to
have the same? So you said past life is interesting because I have lesson and karma. So this is you're not going to be happy with what I have to say, but they want you out of your comfort zone. They want you completely out of your comfort zone, and it's possibly also linked with a moving. So I think you know where it's heading, why you have those anxiety level, but you may try to resist it, and it's not going away in a sense. When we don't listen, especially in an eclipse season, you can have a tower moment. We don't want this. We want you to have the as much power in this situation as possible. It's eclipse season, so try to have as much as you can. But you're due for some change, and it's going to happen. But you can say how and when and what right now.
Okay, Melissa, I hope that helps. That's great advice. Beth says, you guys are talking about yoga positions, right?
Someone said downward dog. I was like, yeah.
Okay, yes. And somebody says JC's favorite position is Yabyong. Yeah, that's a good one. Yes, for sure. What's this one? JC, this is better than waiting for you to give us your Elvis impersonation. Okay, I love it. Of course, there's a pyramid in it for you guys. These are like really cool pyramids. So give it your best try. I'm very curious as to what you guys are going to come up with in the comments after the video. Okay, next one, Aaron. JC, question. My wife, can I read this? Let me go. Okay, Aaron, I'm going to read this, but I need to choose maybe some of the words so that we don't trigger censorship stuff. So let me go back to another question, and then I'll rephrase this in my mind, Aaron, to get back to your question. So I am going to ask Aaron's question here. Let me just reword that as I'm live here. I want to make sure we're doing this properly. So let's see if I can get this next one here. Is from Maria. Hi, glad to see you all. My question is, I want my parents, age 86 and 88, to move in with me so I can take care of them. They seem to sidestep the issue. Will it ever happen? Will they move into my house with me? Okay, Maria wanted to take care of her parents. Is that going to happen, or are the parents really sidestepping the issue, as she's saying? Let's start with you, Sophie. Let's pull some cards on that from Maria.
Okay. It's funny because I have family value, getting a house, and planning. So this is very much in alignment with what we are talking about. Let's just reach what it is, the result here. I don't think they want to. I don't think it's going to happen, in a sense that we have people here that wants to have a lot of boundaries. We have people here that wants to stay independent, and even if it's not in their best interest. So I think that it's really good that you're trying to do that. You're going to gain tons of good karma with this. This is absolutely wonderful on your part, but I don't think it's going to happen right now.
Okay.
I pulled a card, if I can add, and
Sure.
I have the Libra card, which is a win-win outcome is forecast. So full moon in Libra, which talks about relationships. So it's like you're going to find a solution that they're going to be happy with, but it might not be your, let's say, A plan. It's not their A plan, but it's somewhere in the middle with the scale here, which represents Libra.
Okay. So I just wanted to make sure for the next one here, because YouTube doesn't like it when we talk about these types of things, but I want to emphasize that. Okay, I'm going to try to read this and make sense of it all for you guys. So JC, my question is, my wife, Marnie, took a specific product, injectable, in 2009. So just to be clear, it's not related to anything that's been happening over the last 2.5 years. We're not talking about that at all. So it's a specific product from 2009, which he says is well known for having repercussions. We'll just say that for the show here. Will you ask the cards about healing from that? We've started some supplements and a physical therapy for now, but is there anything else the cards could tell Marnie and Aaron. Thank you, Aaron. I really appreciate that. I know it's difficult here for YouTube to get into those, but let's see what we can glean from the cards.
Was it like the test drive operation before 2020 or something?
No, it wasn't that one either. It's
Okay.
something more specific there, and I figured if I even name it here, we'll get sued for by somebody for even naming that particular product.
Okay, interesting, because I have mystery on top of the High Priestess, which is mystery. I think you don't know yet all of it, and for me it's not as bad as it sounds. I think you're going to be able to have clarity on how to get this thing out of the system. I do see it around the next few months. I don't think it's going to be far away, and it looks good. It looks very good because, again, we talk a lot about past life tonight, but I have karmic and I have work on something. So this, if you have specific symptoms, it's linked with something that you are working on from many past life. So you can work on getting clear of this, and also clarity is coming. So yes, good things are to come.
Good things are to come. Okay. Wow. All right. That's good. Let me see if I can scan for maybe one or two more questions. We're at the hour mark already. Hold on here. See if I can grab this one. Sarah, was there a question with Sarah? Let me see. No, there's no questions. Well, thank you, Sarah, anyways, for that beautiful tip, but I don't see a question. If I see you again in the live stream, I'll get to it. And perhaps I'll scan the live stream also to get some questions here. But somebody said something about, JC, you have a cool bedroom, swing, mounted over your king-size bed, which allows for ever-changing positions. No, first of all, it's not a king-size bed. And no, I have a skylight in my bedroom. No room for swings. But good try, Dodie. I appreciate it.
Very creative, the answers that we're getting.
Very creative. I love that. Yeah, that's so cool. JC, Sophie, and Julie, all awesome. Thank you. RN, appreciate that. Really cool. Okay. Did you, Sophie or Julie, see any questions in the live chat that you wanted to tackle while I scan this as well?
I wasn't reading, but I'll try to read.
Okay. GC, are you and Janine going to form? Okay, we already answered that one. Okay, so let me go back to the live here. While I do that, Sophie, let's start pulling some cards here. We're already an hour, 11 minutes into it on maybe how to navigate this next week. And if there's something else coming up here, energetically speaking, that perhaps we have to pay attention to. Let's see what the cards have to say on that while I scan for some more questions.
I have the card of vacation, so I think it's telling us to rest tons. I have the card of vacation. I wish it would be that simple for everybody to take just 7 days off to go to someplace good, but it's asking you to take some good habits in your life. So, for example, if you are somebody that don't go outside, go outside. I know we talk about it lots of times, but this is the true way you get better. And maybe stop looking at TV that much for next week, because vacation is also vacation for the body, the mind, and the soul. So meditation, if you like that, yoga, trying some new position, if JC has some to recommend. Basically, just rest, eat well. And if you are not feeling well and you have some sick days, take them.
Well, in terms of positions, I really enjoy putting my stick shift into the overdrive position when I'm speeding with my car.
Interesting.
You're just like, what is he saying?
Like, where is he going with that?
I'm just driving my car, guys. moving right along.
Nothing to see here.
Okay, Lisa has a great question. Actually, in New York State right now, there was a big reversal today, but she's asking if those who took the products and maybe lost their job, who were unwilling to take products and lost their jobs, will they be given remedy? That's exactly what happened in New York State today. Let me see if I can bring up my Twitter account to show that. But let's pull some further cards to see if we're going to see a bigger move here of payback, I guess, is the best word here to describe all of this. Sophie, let's start with you.
The first card is lies. The second one is arsenic. I do see, yes, I do see something coming at the end of it. Absolutely. So you have to understand that right now we're still stuck in this. We have lies, that, and fake, and we have arsenic. But at the end, we reach what we really want, and we have some rewards out of it. So there is going to be some balance.
Wow. Really
This
cool.
card,
Go ahead.
this card is Ace of Pentacles. We can see it as money. I don't think it's going to be just money. I think it's going to be maybe recognition or something like that. It doesn't have to be some resource in the form of money.
Yeah, that's hard to get into, but of course, being pure in the red things running through your body is going to be a big theme, and it's already starting now. We're seeing clinics that are asking for. This is too hard to get into on the show, yes, but yeah, I agree with you, Sophie. We're already seeing that even in mainstream news, and we're going to see more and more of it. Guys, this is what I was looking for. Sorry, that's the wrong screen. This one here. New York State Supreme Court reinstates all fired refuseniks, orders payback, and says that state violated rights, acted arbitrarily and capriciously against these people. And of course, here in Alberta, the new premier made it illegal in this new projet de loi, so new legislation, to discriminate against people based on their medical status. So that's one province here in Canada, but it only takes that one, and then suddenly other provinces will be pressured, just like on this gun grab thing. So again, difficult to get into that here. Julie, did you want to add to that also? Is this part of the Saturn-Uranus square also kind of this reversal of power, so to speak, in the struggle between the people who didn't take the products, who were standing their own ground here? What's the feeling?
Well, it's still in effect now, but Saturn just turned direct this weekend. So we're slowly moving away from the square. So I think December will be a lot easier, and it's going to be Sagittarius season, which is all about truth, law. It's all about lawsuits, justice. So I'm thinking Sagittarius will be lighter as an energy, but also at going over past wrong decisions, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. Irma, JC, a barber chair. I can't see that one.
Very creative.
Imagine the position of a barber chair. I won't even get that. You guys are hilarious. I love it. We should probably do this more often and ask people these weird questions. Next time we'll choose maybe Sophie or Julie to be the guinea pig. I went first here. We'll see how this goes, guys, if we're gonna do this or not. Or if you guys participate and it's fun, yeah, sure.
It's a cool prize though. Like I would participate too.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm not reading that last one. Okay, let me just see here. Let me just refresh to see if there's another PayPal question. Hopefully I can get as many as I can here tonight. But I think I'm almost there. Yeah, I think I don't see the new refresh on the screen yet. Okay. Wants a good financial position. Yeah, speaking about that, somebody was asking just earlier, silver updates. That's all they said, but there are 2 or 3 people asked already. What do we do on that one? Sophie, do you want to pull? I know we keep pulling the same things, but other people are still asking, what the hell's going on? I had Andy Scheckman and Bill Holter on the screen here just earlier this week, and Bill was on record saying, we're just weeks away, days away from the whole shit house going down. And of course, what he was referring to was the bond market. And when that collapses, everything changes. And what Bill was saying was that, and guys, please do go watch the episode if you haven't seen it. Fascinating new information in there. He was saying that, you know how we have these boom bust cycles, cyclical events. This is not that. What we're doing is secular. We're changing the whole paradigm here. And he said basically, as we go through this transition that's right in front of us now, the way we used to live here in North America will completely change. Now, that's just not to say the sky is falling and it's catastrophic, but he's talking a big, massive change here is coming mathematically and by design. So go check out that episode. That was Bill Holter. But Sophie, what say you here on the advent of silver here as it has a role here in this new world of ours?
I have the world. So what I have right now is a lot of confusion at the present moment. On top of the card of confusion, I have the card of confusion from the tarot deck. So this is tons of confusion. I think that we're not meant to know exactly what they are doing behind the scene, because there's tons of things happening right now. We're not seeing clearly what is going to happen, but for sure there is going to be a change, a big change really soon. I don't have it in a long time. This is the next card after confusion. We see it. We have this change and we have balance.
Wow. Okay. Julie, did you want to add to that? I know today, October 25th, was the peak of the energies in terms of this. Was it a square with the silver?
Oh, it's a conjunction between Mars and the asteroid silver.
Right. Yeah. And this idea of having an announcement. It was funny because in China, they halted the copper markets, and a lot of the analysts were saying it would be copper first and then silver. So we might be very close to this announcement in silver as well. Is there anything else there you want to pull?
Yeah, I pulled some cards.
Okay, go ahead.
My moon deck. So 2 cards wanted to come out at the same time. So I'm so bad at showing cards. Okay, here we go. So I have a new romantic cycle begins, but I'm just taking account of the new moon in Libra and new moon in Taurus, which is all about, Taurus is all about currencies, and Libra is all about justice. Okay, so it's like 2 cycles starting, because we have 2 new moon cards. And what's interesting about those is that we're having a new moon at the moment today, but also both of those ruling planets, so the ruler of Libra and the ruler of Taurus is Venus. And this eclipse we're having today is conjunct Venus, which is currencies, money. So I'm thinking next days. And also have the card, nothing will come out of the situation. And for me, this card means that it's not going to be assessed the same way that we used to deal with old currencies, values. So it's probably not going to be, let's say, silver prices increased compared to US dollar. It's something completely new, as you were saying, JC, with the last video with Bill Holter and Andy. So it's like, maybe we don't have to compare silver compared to old bonds, old values. So it's something completely different. We have to think out of the box, but it's surely beginning right now with the eclipses, with Venus being highly activated.
Well, Andy and Bill were suggesting through all their contacts that record low inventories right now in silver through the COMEX, the LBMA. A lot of dealers, primary dealers, are on allocation. It's more and more difficult to source product. Anyways, guys, the products they have now on sale for you guys here this week are the 23 silver Britannias at $750. I believe now they're $775. The Mint just jacked the prices on them here. Andy was saying yesterday, so I'm going to be changing that poster here very shortly. And the 23 Gold Britannia is also at 85 over spot. If you're on the Canadian side of the equation, of course, you can visit mfbullion.ca. There they have the 10-ounce silver bars on sale for $5.95 over spot Canadian. And somebody was saying earlier, yes, Esmeralda, JC, the bars are fantastic. Yes, we still have some Beyond Mystic silver bars available. Just click on this special order form here, and the people at Miles Franklin will get them to you very fast and securely. Okay, so I'll take one last stab at this one here. Let me see what's next here. My guess is well, I can't read that out, Jimmy. I'm not going to read that. Okay, so why don't we end on this? Instead of asking you guys for the last words of wisdom, I'm going to ask you guys to guess. Julie.
Really? Can I just answer with I don't want to share like you did earlier?
Yeah, me too. Fifth Amendment. Fifth Amendment.
You plead the fifth. Okay. So as to not incriminate yourself. That means a lot, Sophie. I don't know if
I know.
Yeah, People are going to be asking a lot of questions with that one. Okay.
I'm crying. That's how it's a fantastic evening. Laughing and crying from laughing. Thank you so much. This is wonderful.
Yeah. It surely ends the day a lot better than it started for me.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's the whole point of these amazing shows. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Thank you for participating in this wacky contest idea of mine live here, based on one of your comments tonight. I thought that was absolutely funny and apropos. And of course, yes, we have to laugh, bring up the frequency. It is very healing. And of course, we are going through some weird times. So it's really a pleasure to be out here with you, Sophie and Julie, as always, and of course with you, the Beyond Mystic family. So please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And I wanted to also bring to your attention the Three Witches show coming up for Halloween, on Halloween itself at 8 o'clock Eastern. You don't want to miss that show. It might be on Rumble, so we'll see here. So stay tuned with the posters. Set that one on your calendar for here on YouTube, but we might move it to Rumble. Speaking of Rumble, here's the new channel. And of course, tomorrow, we have Janine back on pay-per-view on the BeyondMystic.net. If she's back in town in time from her Truth Tour. If not, also Thursday, I haven't put up the poster here yet, but at 4 o'clock Eastern is our weekly Janine and JC Rumble show on Rumble. So stay tuned for that. So let me bring that Rumble link back down for you guys as well here in the live chat. And finally, let me go back to that YouTube channel as well. Yes, we had to postpone this Nostradamus, The Vortex of Time show with Jay Weiner, and it is now scheduled for November 3rd at 3 p.m. Eastern. So do stay tuned for that as well. I love you guys. This was the Scorpio season and eclipse Divine Feminine Oracle show. Have a great evening, and we'll see you soon. Au revoir.
Love you guys.